learn how to improve the relationships and learn from experts to improve my my career. So yeah, that's how I will go.
So the perspective go first, and then relationships, and then expertise afterward. Okay.
Yeah, because we need to have prime reference system. Based on it, we could choose correctly. We have wisdom to do it.
Okay. Yeah, that's another way to go. So Man Kang saying that he going to start with relationships because now he feeling after he learned this, he feeling that relationships is more important. He's have the urge to develop relationships. Okay, and also his expertise. Sorry, I keep saying expertise, bad habit. Right. So expertise, perspective, relationship. Okay. If we reflecting on most of our life, we see that those have profound and extensive life experience. When they reach to the age of 50s or older, they will find and they start joining with community, with organization. Then they will find this knowledge incredibly precious. Okay. Obviously, with Man Kang is also this knowledge as a great or good, but the feeling that how valuable this knowledge is can only be perceived by those who are at the age of 50s and older. Obviously, lucky for us, very fortunate for us to have those young people like Man Kang also joining our communities, and he is at such a young age. He's already start to value the knowledge, which means he's already matured more than other people at the same age with him, right? So do you consider yourself to be more mature than the friend that you know in school, Man Kang?
I don't know, but I know I'm mature than before. That's the
okay, very modest, very humble, more mature than before. That's good enough. So this precious knowledge is for the people who is more or 50 years of age older. Is with them that is almost unimaginable that they be able to encounter in this life. And for many young people who be able to listen to this knowledge between the age of 10 to 30 and attending this class, okay, they don't really know that which really is providing them with 80% of what contribute to their success. So just by participating in this class, okay, Man Kang, you have been able to improve that 80% of your success already. Okay, you already go ahead of the people, the friends of yours who haven't be able to listen to this knowledge. So the only thing you need is to the contribute of 20% of your effort. So that effort will show in your expertise later on. Okay, and it will take a lifetime to experience, to a lifetime of your experience to truly understand this 80% beings, 80% of relationship and perspective really means, especially this perspective part. Because when you are young, it simply doesn't really sink in much. Okay, although you hear and you listen to this knowledge, that means it shows that you are already mature over the people at your age. But most young people, okay, this knowledge doesn't really sink in much because all this knowledge is basically is belong to the perspective of the person. Okay, you learn this knowledge. Okay, it doesn't contribute much to your expertise. It doesn't contribute much to your relationships, social relationships, right? So all the knowledge that you learned in this journey mostly is contribute to your perspective. But once your perspective change, you have the different connection, different social relationships. And by interacting with the people in Zoom, interacting with the people in organization, with community, okay, you'll be able to enhance your social relationship at the same time. And because the community where people have the same perspective and share a certain perspective. So later on, if you want to develop certain expertise, you just need to follow an expert, like Coach Emma said earlier. Just follow an expert, and that 20% will easily be fulfilled. We will be able to complete. Okay. And in the mentor programs, okay, Mentor 7, you will be guided bit by bit to, and you'll be nurture your wisdom, your choice in life, and you will be taught how to treat others, how to live with humanity, how to respect, how to show your righteousness, your wisdom, and your trust. Okay. Also, our master and other teacher will also show you how to be appreciative and tolerant of others. Okay. When you're working in a group of 20 people, 10 people, then you will be able to understand what tolerance of others really means, and how to genuinely being humble. Okay. Let me see what the message. Yes. Okay. So most people, okay, by the age, when they get to the age around 50 to 60 years old, then they realize that their professional is powerless. Okay, whatever, if even they become very good in their field, they become an expert in their field. Okay, it's all doesn't have any meanings, become meaningless, because being human is what truly matters. If you are an expert and you don't know how to deal with people around you, you have the wrong perspective about everything in life. Okay, it doesn't mean anything. Your expertise doesn't really mean anything at all at that time. Okay, so ultimately it's boiled down to how we live our lives, how we conduct our life is what is count. So how we learn to live well, is it through maturing in perspective? Is it through maturing in social relationships? Okay, so through maturing in our perspective and our social relationships, that's determine, okay, our competence, our maturities as a human being. So in simple terms, perspective as a person's way of thinking and attitude towards life. They shape our worldview, but they are not sufficient to determine if our perspectives are truly well formed. So it's our perspective that include our wisdom, our meditation, our characters, our virtue. Okay, that's represent our perspective. So if we develop this maturity, then people will consider that as one of the aspects of their perspective, and the human competency will be considered complete in that aspect. So after that, understanding our inner being and recognize it will be complete. So leaving only this expertise, the skill to be further developed. So when we perfect this process of maturity, okay, we will naturally mature in our perspective, in our social relationship, and in our expertise. And that's allow us to think and develop comprehensively. So before that, we need to raise our maturity level. Okay, so how can we raise our maturity level? How can we raise our maturity level? So if you notice that, if you look at the leaders of our country, of our society, or any country in the world, right? How old, in what age those little people is at? So if you observe our society, in Vietnam, in different country. So the leader of the country, the leader of the nation, okay, how old they are roughly? What do you think? How old are those leaders of the nation? How old are
60?
they?
60.
Okay, about
Around
60s.
50.
Yeah. So the leaders of the society, the leader of the nation nowadays, most of them are born in the 60s. Okay, most of them they born in the 60s. Okay, most of them they born in the 60s. And these people now, they are supporting those born in the 70s. Right? So the next generation going to lead the country will be the people who born in the 70s. Okay, so these are the people beginning to rise. And in the next 10 years, the people who born in the 90s, the 70s will be nurtured. So will be nurtured to lead the country. Okay, and then the people who born in the 90s will support those who born in the 80s. In the 80s. Okay, and by another 10 years, 10-year time, by 2030, okay, it will be the playground for those who born in the 80s onwards. So those who are fortunate enough to be supported by those born in the 70s, okay, are advancing and maturing more rapidly. So for those who born in the, and then about 10 years later will be the opportunity for those who born in the 90s. So every 10 years we see the leadership changing hands, changing to the new generation, the next generation every 10 years. Okay. And for those who born in the 1990s, your times will come around 2040. Yeah. And those who born in the 2000s, they will see the time around 2050. Okay. The time will come in about 2050. So currently, okay, I and probably Coach Emma as well in here belong to the generation born in the 1980s, which is in the middle phase. Yeah, in the middle phase. And what we aim to create a roadmap that nurture the younger generation, particularly those born around the year 2000. Okay, my kids born around the year 2000, and Coach Emma kids as well. So the whole community of with teacher or the mentor, masters, we are keeping an eye on them, right? We support those born in the 90s. So the 80s, we support those who born in the 90s and encourage those who born in the 60s and 70s. But with a forward-thinking approach, we plan for the next 20 to 30 years. So our master goal is to shorten the maturity age of the country. Yeah. So our master, our head teacher, his goal is to shorten the maturity age of the country, and he is working relentlessly to ensure that by 2040, the nation leader will emerge, and ideally under 40 years old. So in about 2040s, okay, in about 2040s, the leader of the nations will be around 40 years of age, not just 60, 50, 60 anymore, but it will be shortened. Okay, he shortened the maturity age of the country, and as we see in this Zoom, it's already showed, and Man Kang or probably Tuấn Kiệt as well. He's the younger generation. So you guys have technically is shortened your maturity age already. Okay, but normally it takes a decade every 10 years. Every 10 years we call it a decade. So every decade, those who go before, okay, Those who go before will support those who come after. Okay. And every 10 years they receive the support to go up to the leader level. Okay. And with our master vision, he is currently supporting those around him who's born in the 90s. So then he looking at the people who born in the 70s and he accompanied them. He accompanied those who born in the 70s and 60s, and he pushing them to mature at the pace of society. And also behind the back, he quietly turning back to support those who born in the 70s as well. Okay, 70 and 60. They are the people who old enough to bear the responsibility of society. Okay, so they have to get matured quicker because it's in their time right now. Okay, and he is silently set up a plan to nurture those children, children who born in the 2000s, and support those who born in the 1990s, So with the resources of those who born in the 70 and 80. So the 70 and 80 will be the resources to support those who born in the 90s, okay, and also support those who born in the 2000. So over the next, let's say, 10-15 years until 2040, the country leaders and industry leaders will emerge under the age of 40s. So we will see around 2040, if our community keep growing like this, we will see that everyone will enrich themselves, will master themselves, master their life, will become wiser, more prudent, more sagacious, more erudite, and evolve into 9 types of people. Then we will see the new leaders of the country, the new industry leaders will emerge under the age of 40s. But currently, the silent generations of our nations are those people who born in the 60s and 50s. They are providing support for those who born in the 70s to rejuvenate leadership. So in Vietnam, in the 70s, we'll see the billionaire emerge in large number over the next 6 years. So the leaders of the nation, the local leaders and corporate leaders will gradually be those who born in the 70s. So they are now creating a roadmap for these people who born in the 70s and 80s, now creating a roadmap to nurturing who born in the 80s and 90s. And by 2030 and beyond, it will be the playing field for those who born in the 80s. So about 2030, it will be the play field for those who born in the 80s. So according to the social roadmap, so this will go by the social roadmap. And then by 2040 and beyond, it will be the play fields for those who born in 2000. But if we continue this way, however, if we continue this way, society will miss out because it doesn't allow people to mature fully and completely. And by the time they have made their contribution, if we look at this diagram, we see that by the time people can contribute to society, that by the time they reach the full maturities are in expertise, in social relationship, and in perspective, they get to the age of 50s plus, which means their health is often going down, their health is often depleted, which is a great loss, and they no longer have the courage to do much more, compared to the young people. So our master, he realized this, and he now maximizing support for those who born in the 70s to excel and develop according to their time. And when they excel and they develop already, they will turn back and support those who born in the 80s, and also uplift those born in the 90s. And particularly, our master, he diligently is planning to nurture those who born in the 2000s. So from now until then, there's a 6 years to complete the plan for the born in the 2000. Okay, that's I think about 5 years. He has been shortened that quicker now. So by 2030, it will be the official pathway for those who born in the 2000. Okay. You understand what I'm saying? So if we follow the social norm, the social path, then by the 2030, it will be the playing field for the people who born in the 1980. But with our master new plans, with the projects that he is working on to nurture family education, nurture the group of entrepreneurs, and he also will finish the group of mentors by Mentor 7. He'll close up mentors and fully push to develop the next generation. Then, if the whole community, with community, also together focus on this plan. Okay. Excuse me just a minute. Then if we follow the new plans that our master has planned out, then we can shorten these times. So instead of the 2030 will be the playing field for the people who born in 80, then it will be the years when the 2000 the people who born in 2000 be able to show themselves, be able to become the leaders in their field. So our master, he has maximized the support for those who born in the 70s to excel and develop, and supporting those who born in the 80 and 90. And also all of them focusing on the 2000s people, on the people who born in 2000. And the plan, the 49 years plan of our master, focus fully on the children who born in 2000. So from now until then, from now until 2030, there's about 5 years, another 5 years to complete the plan for those who born in the 2000. So by 2030, it will be there of the journey, the path, official pathway for those who born in the 2000. So by 2040, by 2040, we complete, rejuvenate in many aspects, and in about another 15 years, everyone will see the transformation. By 2040, this plan will start to run. And in another 15 years later on, another 15 years, then we will see the whole transformation of our country. So the people who stand in the leaderships of the nation in the field will be around 40 years or under 40 years old. So technically, our master, he accelerate the development of the personal perspective, personal relationships, and personal expertise. So in today's world, the professional skill can be taught easily, or the professional skill, what we call the expertise, can be taught easily. And by advancing the maturation process of our children, we're focusing on becoming well-rounded individual at a younger age. So expertise or skill is no longer be an issue anymore, but we can quickly nurture their expertise, because it's only take like 20%. But if we start at the age of 18, and we can nurture them for another 4 to 8 years and even earlier, okay, with a well-planned pathway. So let's say Mạnh Khang, how old are you now?
How old am I? I'm 14.
14. Okay. So let's say you are 14. Okay, let's say I give you another 4 years to do whatever you want, learn whatever you want. But by the age of 18, yeah, by the age of 18, okay, let's say your parents haven't even started you on this journey yet, and you still just playing around. But by the age of 18, you start very, very focusing on developing yourself, nurturing yourself, okay, for about 4 years, 4 to 8 years, okay. I mean, with you now, you have even learning this knowledge earlier. You now about 14, so you even earlier than if we start at 18, so that even better, right? So let's say for another 4 years, okay, for another 4 years, 18, when you get to 21, yeah, so that's the total of 8 years, okay. And if you follow the well-planned pathway that our master has already planned out, okay, growth in perspective and relationship, social relationship at the same time, okay, then you be able to learn how to work and live with another people for another 4 years, and followed by another 8 years of experience. 8 years of experience. Okay, so this is to build your skill, your expertise. Okay, then by the age of 30, by the age of 30, you could practically be leading the country if you implement this knowledge properly. Okay, because from now until the age of 21, you develop your perspective and relationships well. Then another 8 years for you to prove to the world that you have the expertise, you have the experience. Okay, and that's enough. By the time you get to the age of 30, you can become a leader in your field or leader in countries. And that's how we'll be able to shorten your maturity process, or getting to your success much faster. If we look back in history, yeah, during the time of ancient kings, people had completed all their education by the age of 20s. So today in the 21st century, this 21st session, we ending it a little bit later on in our life. Okay, so people don't complete their education until the age of, let's say, 20 years, even 30 years, then they finish the education, depending on what field they follow. So it takes them a long time to actually be able to become an expert in certain field. But if we're looking at back in history, okay, in the time of ancient kings, people has completed all the education by the age of 20, and sometimes they even go defend their country. They lead in the whole army just by the age of 21 or 22. Okay? And we can bring that time back. By follow the new plans that our master has planned for all of us, especially focusing on building up for the 2000s people generation, 2000s generation. Okay, so Mạnh Khang, congratulations for you. You have a new plan to actually achieve success by the age of 30, and achieve whatever we said in this diagram by the age of 30. and potentially can be a leader in your field or a leader of the country if you have a desire to do that. All right, so
I see his eyes brighter with new plan.
you are in a good hand. Your parents is wise and was very sagacious, very prudent, as well as erudite enough to lead you on this path. Okay, so any more questions for today? If not, we can finish the session, dismiss the session today. Thank you for your presence, Mạnh Khang. Thank you, chị Yến Lê and thầy Xuân Thấu and Coach Emma for leading for the whole session from beginning to the end, even you was out for a bit.
Thank you, teacher. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, teacher. Thank you, everyone. Really enjoy learning today.
Yeah, and me too. I really enjoy your voice, your lesson. Thank you. I hope I can understand more. Okay,
Go
bye.
to the yeah. All right. I see you all tomorrow. The next few days. Yeah.
Bye to Trang.
Yeah, bye for you.
Bye bye everyone.
Bye bye.
Take care.
Bye.
See you.